Hello everyone, welcome to my Game Week 26 preview for ChampmanFPL. So, tough game week we've just come out of for a lot of people, I think. A bit of a strange one. I think it's only the second one we've had this season that's been quite so rogue. Some low scores, so well done if you came out the right side of it. I know that lots of free hits out there. But I think a lot of people realising that even when they got 50-60 with a free hit, they were still 20-30 better off than they would have been. So that's good. I mean, for me, a free hit is always about what your other team would have done rather than how many points you get against the average through the season or anything like that. So well done if you came out the right side of it. I certainly didn't. 27 points, absolute disaster for me this week. Almost slipped out of the top 50. Need to push on now, but I did dead end my team and I'm wildcarding this week, so onwards and upwards. But we still got the same leader, 50 points this week, so you get 47. You can see there's some fairly low scores at the top. There's a 34 there, lots of people in the 50s, 48 there, 37, 44. Yeah, not a high scoring week, so don't despair too much. Even with my 27, I only dropped, I think it was like 16 places or something, like not a complete disaster. So yeah, onwards and upwards, and this week looks like a really fun week. So hopefully if you had a bad week last week, you've got a fun week coming up. It looks like there's possibility for that. So Bolton versus Blackburn first up. So Bolton will play attacking at home. Blackburn play defensive away, but against a team like Bolton, they do counter attack and they don't have men behind the ball, so it's not completely tragic. They just like to try and keep it tight away from home, don't they? And it looks like they're gonna manage it again. Kind of why wouldn't they? But Bolton are edging it with their slightly more aggressive tactic. Only 3 blanks for Bolton, pretty good, but quite a few ones. And in terms of a ceiling, you're really chancing your arm if you're expecting one of these two to hit more than a couple, really. It looks like a tight game. But lots of people on a Yussi Gardner double or a Yussi Cooper kind of double, so that's got a fair chance this week. For Blackburn, it's a pretty poor game for them, actually, it looks like, doesn't it? And player returns, low numbers then, so a tight game. Wallace came out on top, Janssen and Bent, Gardner. Not really too much to target from this game. Middlesbrough, Leicester. Middlesbrough attacking at home, and Leicester, there's potential for them to be attacking away. They're one of those teams where it's not an exact science. They might play normal. They certainly won't play defensively. So probably good news for Middlesbrough, the better team at home attacking. The away team aren't going to defend. And that's borne out. They've only blanked once. Nice high ceiling, 7 times they've hit 3 or more. Another solid handful of 2s in there as well. A really nice home game for Middlesbrough from an attacking perspective. But you can't rule out Leicester. They're not going to sit back and just take it. They'll either play attacking or normal, so not out of the question at all. Around about a 50% chance that they score at least once, and they've got the potential to maybe do that better than that, maybe score a couple. So summary of that, like Middlesbrough's attack, defence, I've greened them because they've got 10, so that's normally my kind of threshold for greening their defence. Kind of 50-50. It's as good as you're going to get, really, for a clean sheet chance, but wouldn't rule Leicester out completely. Player returns, So yeah, nice for Boxic. Not sure if he'll play. We'll have to look out for the news for that. I know he's red flagged at the moment, and there's a quick turnaround as well. It's not Boxic isn't a player that really suits a quick turnaround of games. So in our sim, there's only going to be a 3 day break between the last game and this game. But just take it as an illustration that it's good for Middlesbrough. Anybody playing up front for Middlesbrough. So like Rickard this week, like Whelan, if he is the man that starts, it's a good game for him. Johnson's paid a Miller the supply line. Charlton Arsenal. So Charlton play normal at home against the high rep teams. Arsenal will attack against the low rep Charlton. So again, another pretty open game. Neither team are defending. That's what we like. And yeah, goals. So only 4 clean sheets out of a possible 40. All of them going to Arsenal. But yeah, both teams to score looks really, really good. Arsenal with a high ceiling. They've hit 7 here. They've hit a couple of 4s, 3 4s actually. And another few 3s. So 50% of the time they've hit at least 3. Really good game for them. We know, don't we, in our sim that Charlton are a good team to attack. It seems to come off pretty much every week. And yeah, why would you bet against Arsenal doing it to them, really? And Henri, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be a record for me in my sims for a single game week. 27 returns in 20 games. Yeah, way out on top, but he is 90% a game, isn't he? Really could do without that when you see these numbers. I don't know. You probably chance it, don't you? It's if you've got him in your team, then you probably, you can't really take him out, can you? I guess for someone like me who doesn't hold him at the moment, whether you transfer him in or not is a different question, I guess. But if we get news about who partners him, I think that's good. Again, if it's Bergkamp or Jeffers alongside him, I don't hate just going for them instead. I think that could be a good move. Or just go for the supply line. Pires, Basidas. Again, Arsenal's lineup is a bit all over the place, isn't it? So I guess it depends on the league what you might go for. Chelsea Leeds. Chelsea will attack at home. Leeds play defensive at home. Away to low rep teams. So yeah, I think a good chance they'll play defensively, but not men behind the ball. But yeah, tight game. We've seen it before, haven't we? Previously in the season when the likes of Arsenal and United have gone away to Chelsea, they're tight games. And this one's no different. So pretty tight. Basically a goal a game average each. Clean sheets is almost identical. Leeds have hit 3 once, Chelsea 0. Leeds have done pretty well out of this, really, considering that Chelsea are attacking. It's almost a toss of a coin game. Chelsea defenders are like in this game. That's probably about it, really. And returns, Viduka was the only player that showed any kind of consistency whatsoever. But even he only returned in 4 separate games with a total of 7. So yeah, nothing really to target. So I like Chelsea defenders. Home game, good chance of a clean sheet against a defensive team. They're good for bonus. Ipswich Man City. So this is the start of a 4-game run for Ipswich where they're playing at home. So yeah, good chance to jump on something different for Ipswich maybe if you're if you're chasing or fancy doing something a bit different, Ipswich are about to play 4 home games in a row. So they'll be attacking for this against Man City. Man City play defensively away, but against a team like Ipswich, they're not men behind the ball and they do counter-attack. So similar to Blackburn, they'll try and keep it tight, but they're not just going to sit everybody behind the ball for 90 minutes. And Ipswich just shading it with a more aggressive tactic. They've got probably a better ceiling. They've hit 4 once here and another 3. But pretty tight. Couple more clean sheets. So Ipswich shading it. I mean, 8 out of 20 clean sheets for Ipswich. They're not one of the big guys. That's pretty good for Ipswich. You're probably not going to see them get any higher than 8 out of 20 from an average. Yeah, potentially a good game for Ipswich. Man City, you'd just be crossing your fingers. I think it's not impossible, but it's not a great game for them. And Thiago Svensson. So I say it's not a great game for them. This is just a symptom of, Ipswich have got like 4 viable strikers in their squad. They've got loads of midfielders, as we know. They've made a lot of signings, so they've got lots of midfielders. It's just Ipswich's 11, like varying from sim to sim, that nobody's made the list. Whereas Man City's 11 is pretty settled, so that's why you're seeing 2 Man City players, Thiago and Svensson, on the list. I suppose you could look at that and say, well, that's a positive for Man City. Like, at least you've got a good idea who's likely to play and who could get a return. Liverpool Millwall, so another good strong home game. So Liverpool this time attacking, Millwall defensive away against a high rep team, but they will counter attack. It's not doing them much good. They've scored 4 goals in total in 20 sims, which I think is the joint lowest I've seen this season. Liverpool reasonable ceiling, 4 a couple of times, a 5, a couple of 3s, 2 a good handful of times as well. Yeah, nice strong home game for Liverpool. Clean sheet and a couple of goals looks good, and you've got a reasonable chance, 20-25% chance that they sort of hammer them a bit. And player returns Owen, playing game for Owen. He's having a decent season actually. Michael Owen. He can be a bit hit and miss in sims, like season long sims. Sometimes he'll hit 18, 20 goals, and sometimes he'll only hit like 11 or something. But he looks like he's doing all right this season. So this is a good home game for him. Eminem has been pretty good in our sim, even if it's off the bench. Whether he starts is another question. And Hippier made the list, just about, probably on penalties. Man United derby, so United will attack at home. Derby will play defensively, but again, not too tragic, although they'd probably be better off. Another game where it's not, neither team are playing ultra defensive. And a good opportunity of some goals here. So we've got 7-0. So Man United and Arsenal have both hit a 7 in my sims this week. Both got a good ceiling. Both, I think Arsenal were 10 out of 20 as well, weren't they? So nothing really to separate United and Arsenal in my sims this week. United have probably hit a few more 2s, and they're definitely keeping more clean sheets. In terms of attacking output, pretty tight call between United and Arsenal. With Henry on a 90% question mark, maybe you'd say, if you had a decision between Rude and Henry for captaincy, you'd probably play it safe with Rude. That would probably be the sensible thing to do, even though people might think that's boring. There are weeks to go against Rude, and there are weeks where it's very, very risky. So this might come into the later camp for that. Like 15 clean sheets out of 20. United's defence, very good. And player returns, Van Nistelrooy, again, not too far behind Henry. Henry was on 27, Rude on 23. I mean, that's negligible difference, really. You could run it another 20 times and they'd come out the other way around, I would suggest. I know on one of those games, Henry hit 5. So you could say, well, that was the difference. That hardly ever happens. But Veron up there again. Giggs. Oh, can we delete Giggs from the game? What a wanker. Chadwick in there. I've done Beckham's legs in, so Chadwick is playing ahead of Beckham now in my Sims. He's a bit behind Giggs, but not doing too bad. If you combine them, people talk a lot about the wingers against Derby, myself included. So if you combine them, you've got 19 returns in 20 games from the wing. So probably as expected. And then Cole and York doing well. So whoever partners Rude, good game, done well between them. And Sylvester in there as well. So I think that's another symptom of the wingers against Derby, isn't it? Sylvester combined with Giggs down that left side was pretty lethal. Let's stop saying Giggs. What a prick. Newcastle Villa. Newcastle attacking at home. Villa normal away. Again, neither team ultra defensive. It's a fairly open game. So assuming Joe Kinnear is in charge, which he may well not be. But to me, if Kinnear isn't in charge in this game, then Newcastle are at home, so you've got probably a 90-95% chance that they're still going to attack at home. So Souness is the only manager we've got in the league at the moment that doesn't play attacking at home. So even if they change manager, or if it's the situation that we had with Spurs a couple of weeks ago, and they've got basically no manager yet, chances are they'll still play attacking. But chances also are that they won't play this crappy long ball. So I can only see it being an improvement for Newcastle, like whatever happens really in a home game. But this, with Kinnear in charge, this is what happened. So similar story to what we've seen through the season in this kind of game. Newcastle, because they've got good players, they've got Alan Shearer, Dyer, Robert. They can hit 3-4 goals, but they can also blank in a home game. Not a mountain of blanks like we've sometimes seen. A good handful of ones, isn't there? I like Alan Shearer in this game. He's probably the only pick you'd really consider, and I do like Shearer in this game. If there is a new manager in place and they have an interesting formation or whatever, and it suits someone like Kieran Dyer, then I think that becomes interesting as well. For the moment, I'm going to say that this is a decent game for Big Al. Returned 14 times, 11 separate occasions. Option. Spurs Sunderland. Oh, I've forgotten to cut out Spurs tactic. Oh, no. Okay. So this is with McLeish in charge, although I haven't got the screenshot. This is with McLeish in charge. So Spurs will play attacking at home against Sunderland, and Sunderland will play normal against Spurs' rep. So pretty good game for Spurs. So in season-long sims, I think the McLeish appointment is definitely bad, but the fixtures they've had so far since he's been appointed have been pretty all right. So This is another one where you're kind of getting away with it a little bit. If you're still holding Spurs assets, they're maybe viable for another week. There's been a nice run of fixtures for McLeish, and they will attack in this game. And it's 4-4-2 against 4-4-2. So Spurs' slightly more aggressive tactic is bearing some fruit. Decent amount of clean sheets. You probably wouldn't have seen that on the Hoddle, would you? 10 out of 20 clean sheets. I suppose that's one of the differences showing there. And returns. So Selakovic mainly playing a dipped forward role in my sims. Rebrov playing up front. Poirier centre midfield. Kevin Phillips, not a bad game for him. Sunderland have scored some goals, haven't they? They've hit two. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times they've hit two. So although they've hit a lot of blanks, it's kind of all or nothing for Sunderland, isn't it? You've got a 50-50 chance of them doing nothing or actually doing all right. So so Phillips is up there with Teal. Arca, good as well. Fortune, Anderton from the wings for Spurs. Pretty nice open game. Finally, Watford-Everton. Watford will attack their home game. Everton will play normal. And Watford just shading it with their more aggressive tactic, but not by too much. Ceiling is about the same with low chance. They've both hit few a good handful of times. Just a couple more blanks from Everton have brought their average down a bit. Really close. Not a terrible game for either team. It's another one of those games where it's probably don't sell but don't buy, maybe. And player returns. Tommy Smith came out on top. McAteer, sort of out of nowhere, but not big numbers. Natsa, I like Vanatsa. He's been solid. And Kevin Campbell. Karatos in the mix as well. I've found it difficult to sim Karatos. I might have to have another go at it. I've found that they keep selling him straight away, which is annoying. But yeah, I'll maybe have another go at that. Make Everton one of his favourite clubs or something like that. Try something a bit different to make him stick. But I mean, you can read Campbell for Karatos. Don't see a problem there. They're similar ability players. So top returners of the week. So just to recap, Henry out on top, 27, 90% flagged. RVN, if you don't want to risk it, maybe just go with RVN. Toxic, if he plays. If he doesn't, then could favour Rickard instead. Michael Owen, good home game for Liverpool, good home game for Newcastle. Could be even better if Newcastle have got a new manager. And Veron well up there as well. United hammering Derby a good 50% of the time. Attack, look ahead. Arsenal, great little run. It's so annoying that this Henry thing. I say it's annoying. I guess it makes it fun and fair play. If you risked it last week, you were rewarded. Whether it turns out the same this week, who knows? It's all part of the fun, isn't it? Let's not say it's annoying. It's part of the fun. Who else has got a good run? So Middlesbrough have got a pretty good run. This Leicester game looks good. And then Leeds, they're home. They're the attack, so it's not terrible. They've got Millwall, which should be a good game, I imagine. And then they're back at home to Sunderland. So nice little run for Middlesbrough. Ipswich, 4 home games in a row, as I mentioned, and pretty good opposition as well. City, Millwall, Watford, Spurs. I mean, that's not bad, is it? Good little run for Ipswich. If you're looking for a differential, maybe someone like Matty Holland could have a tear over this next little run. Jamie Redknapp on penalties. A lot of people have got Doherty already. Tariko is an option. Yeah, I mean, pick your favourite. From the guys that tend to start for Ipswich. 4 home games in a row could be a nice little set of games. Liverpool, Millwall at home, Tottenham away, Bolton home, pretty good. Next 3. Man United, yeah, like them for the next 4. Nothing too taxing on the horizon on paper. And Newcastle, again, especially if they get a new manager, Aston Villa home, Leicester home, that could be special. City away is pretty good. And then, yeah, back at home against Leeds. Not bad at all. And defensive look ahead. So yeah, like Arsenal at both ends of the pitch. Bolton. So from an attacking perspective, not quite so good because there's some tight games. But tight games means possible clean sheets. So Bolton's defensive run is not bad. Liverpool away is a bit of a stinker, but the other 3, Blackburn home, City home, will both play defensively against them. And then Millwall home. So that's a nice run for Borough's backline, I think. Wouldn't be surprised to see 2 clean sheets out of 4 there. Or some bonus at least. Chelsea run, again, not so much at the attacking end, but Leeds will come and make it tight. Sunderland will come and defend. Spurs away, yeah, okay. And then Liverpool home, so again another big team. So it's these 2 home games where you wouldn't expect Chelsea to, go mad attacking, but 2 good teams coming that will try and defend. So from a defensive perspective, Chelsea's next 4 is pretty good. Ipswich 4 in a row. Again, would you bet against them getting 2 clean sheets out of 4 from 4 home games against this opposition? It could easily happen. I like that. Liverpool, yeah, both ends of the pitch for Liverpool, I think, and same for Man United. So that's me this week. Good luck, everybody. Hoping for a much better week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on wildcard, unless we get news that Bergkamp definitely starts, and Samba definitely starts, and Ian Hart definitely starts again. It's looking very, very likely that I'll be on wildcard. And there's some tasty games this week. I'm going to have to resist the temptation to play it like a free hit, I think, and just be a bit sensible and look at it a bit longer term. But I think there's definitely a chance to bounce back this week if you had a stinker like me. So yeah, good luck with it. See you next time. Cheers, everybody.